Now, good day. You are welcome to another edition of Study Anatomy. Study Anatomy is a series that takes you through anatomy systems in the human body and makes it easy for you. So, Study Anatomy is fun. Now, I'm your host, Robert Onorio is my name. I will take you through the portion that we are about to deal with today, which is the secretions of the stomach, The secretions of the stomach. Now, I would like you to subscribe to this very YouTube channel. Press the subscription button, like and comment. Please, I would like to get your feedback. That it will be of importance to us. Your feedback will help us to grow. We would like also for you to suggest the systems that you want us to treat and how we can improve ourselves. All your suggestions and your contributions will help us to improve this very channel. Now, let's go on now. We want to see the secretions of the stomach. Now, looking at the stomach, if you look at the stomach very well, you will notice that the surface is rough. Anyway, this rough surface, as I've said in our previous videos, is because of the emptiness of the stomach that you see this roughness, and this roughness is called rugae, as I've said, R-U-G-A-E. So it's only present when the stomach is empty. And now let's see it now. This rough surface that you see also, it contains tiny glands. There are tiny openings in these very walls of the stomach, tiny openings, and these tiny openings are called gastric pits. Gastric, then Pits, gastric pits. And these gastric pits, they have some cells in them. These gastric pits can also be called oxyntic. These are gastric glands that are present in this gastric pit can also be called oxyntic glands. Oxyntic, oxyntic glands. And they have some cells in them. And these cells in which they have in them has a lot to do with digestion. So everything that has to do with digestion comes from these cells in which they have in these gastric pits. Now, we have three major cells in the gastric pits, three major cell types in the gastric pit, and each of them, they produce their own different secretions. Now, we have the mucous cells. These mucous cells, they produce mucus. We'll come to that later on. We also have the second one, which is the chief cells. And we also have the third one, which is the parietal cells. The mucous cells, the chief cells, and the parietal cells. The mucous cell produces large quantity of mucus and also large quantity of bicarbonate fluid, which is alkalinic in nature. And this alkaline nature helps in conjunction with these very mucus in which it produces, helps to create a kind of mucus coated wall in the stomach wall. Mucus coated wall around the stomach wall. The mucus coated wall in which it produces is very important because it is protective in nature. Without this, the stomach won't be able to protect itself against itself. We'll come to that later on. I think that will be a little confusing, but we'll come to later and we'll iron it out. Thank you very much for tuning to this channel, and I'd like you to still share. You share, you press the like buttons, and also you comment. Please, anatomy is fun. So let's make it fun. Now, let's go on again. Now we see the second one, which is the chief cell. The chief cell is very important because it is a cell that produces the enzymes in the stomach. And these enzymes in which it produces are the pepsin, the lipase. Pepsin is far the most potent one, because pepsin helps in the digestion of protein. To begin, the digestion of protein in the stomach is done by pepsin. Like what I've told us before in our previous video, the digestion of protein starts from the stomach and it is done by pepsin. So pepsin does that. Also, some quantity of lipase is being produced also by the chief cell. Some quantity of lipase is being produced also by the chief cell. And as the chief cell produces this lipase, the lipase helps to digest lipids, especially butter fat. It helps to digest it. And that is not the end of the digestion. It moves forward as everything mixes up and becomes semi-liquid. That semi-liquid form now has that kind of great constituency, and this very mixture is described as chyme. And it is only when these things are partially digested, the food substances in which we have, the nutrients we have there, they are partially digested and they are now being mixed properly and they are being sent into the duodenum. So now the chief cell produces the pepsin and lipase, and the chief cell is very important. It's very important. And also we have the third one, which is the parietal cell. The parietal cell produces hydrochloric acid. Hydrochloric acid creates an acidic environment, and this acidic environment in which it creates helps to enhance the digestion of proteins, because proteins are being digested. Protein is being digested in an acidic environment. Don't forget that the mouth is also an alkalinic environment. Our saliva is alkalinic in nature. So ptyalin functions very well in the mouth because of the alkalinic environment. Now when ptyalin comes into the stomach, it becomes silent. It doesn't really perform any action, nothing. It becomes very silent because it is not its environment. The pH of the stomach is different from that of the mouth. So the pH of the mouth, which is the potential hydrogen ion concentration there in the mouth, is alkalinic in nature. So it facilitates the digestion of carbohydrate there. That's why carbohydrate digestion starts from the mouth. But the digestion of protein needs an acidic environment. And since it needs an acidic environment, then acid is being produced in the stomach. Now, the production of these three cells, the mucous cell, the chief cell, the parietal cell, which is the third one, all together, the secretion in which they give out, they are collectively known as gastric juice. They are collectively known as gastric juice. And there's also the third secretion that is being produced by the parietal cell. It is called the intrinsic factor. The intrinsic factor is necessary for the absorption of vitamin B12 from the small intestine. It is being produced by the parietal cells and it is being transported to the small intestine, and it aids in the absorption of vitamin B12. And vitamin B12 is very necessary for the maturation of red blood cells. That's what you should know. When we treat blood cells also, when we treat blood, we'll see all those aspects. So it is very necessary for the maturation of red blood cells. So when vitamin B12 is absent, red blood cell maturation is poor. And once it is poor, it leads to what they call pernicious anemia. So thank you very much for watching. I would like this video to be shared once again. Let's share it. Let's have fun with anatomy. Let's share it. Try and click the subscribe button. Comment also, and your comment will be responded to. Yes, and your comment will also influence and shaping the way we operate in this channel. Thank you very much.